Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto. And you will know that of late I've been filling my pockets with Electroneum profits. And I'm very, very fortunate and thrilled to have Richard Ells with me. He's the CEO of Electroneum. This is the second interview that we're having. And hopefully he will agree with me to have a third at some point, because I am excited about this coin and what it offers. Now, just to remind you, I am a hobby investor, not a financial advisor or anything. So do your own due diligence and do not invest any more than you're willing to lose. So first off, Richard, thank you so much for making yourself available. You're in your offices, in the Electroneum offices in Maidstone, I understand. I've just expanded the screen here so people can, if you just want to do us a quick scan of the office.
It's a terrible mess, I'm afraid. Had I realised that we were going to do this on video Skype, I would have actually had it tidied.
No, this shows that you're busy. You're busy.
How
is the ICO going?
It's going fantastically. I think we're up to about $6 million US. So it's been a busy day, and we've got some great stuff going on. You see a little core of people left here. We'll be here till 11 o'clock tonight, as pretty much as usual, I suppose. So we're always crazy busy. We know we're banging down the door of a deadline of that 31st of October. So exciting times.
Fabulous. Thank you. And then anything else you want to let us know about the ICO? Are you on track? Are you ahead? Are you exceeding expectations?
I'll be honest. We had no idea what to expect. We just genuinely didn't. We're coders. We're all coders. We've got marketing background. We've got coding backgrounds. You know, I've been in the coding game for 25 years. So we know that side of the business, but we do not know anything about ICOs. But that's pretty much how it is. We're learning as we go. We're flying by the seat of our pants a little bit. So that's a bit of an embarrassing thing to say. But realistically, you don't run more than one. I don't think anybody runs two token sales. At least if they do, what happened to the first one?
Yeah.
So we've been busy learning, and we're busy throwing money back into marketing to get the user numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
We're up to about 30,000. When I looked earlier, maybe even 32,000 contributors, and that's just amazing.
Wow.
We've got five nearly. Well, I think when I last looked, it was just around the $6 million US mark that we've raised. And we likely will have a spike tomorrow night as we come out of the 30% bonus period.
Yes.
So, jolly excited by the whole thing. We've got enough money now that we can definitely make this a really, really exciting launch. We're translating it. In fact, the guys are working on translation files for the app as we speak. So we have the game in development. I don't know whether I can get somebody to. Can you pull anything up there? I'll turn the camera around and you can see some of the sneak preview perhaps of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Let's have a look. See what we've got. So the whole concept is, this you won't.
Can you move it a bit closer?
Oh yeah, let's move in and refresh that if you can. So this is, I don't know what this is. It's designed in, but something clever. So there's the mine shaft where you start, and then there's. Have you got some? I don't suppose you've got any other slides of anything going on? Have you? Zooming in down to here. So there's all sorts of junk in that level, and off you go. Various things that you can use to control and mine. So it's going to be quite an addictive little game. It's not something you have to play to mine. The mobile miner will work just as a mobile miner, but it is a bit of a dull thing. You switch the app on, it starts mining, and you walk away. It's really not that. It's not that intriguing. And some of the market that we're trying to get to, the youngsters, people who've never been exposed to cryptocurrency at all, they're going to love this. It's really, really, really addictive. You tap away like crazy mining on a coin. It gets harder as you go, and so you need to spend some of not cryptocurrency, not spending cryptocurrency on your tools, but you get experience points that you can spend on tools, upgrading the tools. And each time you complete a level, we are giving a tiny reward in genuine cryptocurrency. So these people who are playing the game are getting paid a reward for playing the game in Electroneum. So It's going to be a real viral marketing tool to take this out to a massive audience. So we're very excited.
I just thought, because people will get paid money that they can then trade and use and spend.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fortune. So, you know, People are not going to go out and buy a Ferrari based on their earnings from a game.
Or even one Bitcoin.
Maybe a few pence, maybe $1. It's going to be something that's an appreciable amount. And I think the important point from our perspective is that anybody who was given, in fact, funnily enough, one of the chaps that's here, he dug out an old Bitcoin account where he completed a survey a year ago, maybe a couple of years ago. He completed a survey and he remembered he'd been paid some Bitcoin. Couldn't remember what it was. He's just dug it out today, transferred it across. It's $56 worth of Bitcoin. Now, when he was given that, when he completed the survey, it was $6 worth or something along those lines. So he's had a tenfold increase for just sitting on it. So the reality of it is, had he had that survey done in 2009, 2010, and he was paid in Bitcoin at a few dollars, then you can imagine where he'd be now. So all these people that have the app and have the game, and they might only have 50 cents worth of Electroneum. They may have $1 worth, but whatever it is that they've got, they're going to sit on it. You're not going to delete that. You'd be a crazy fool to delete cryptocurrency, right? So It keeps our app very current, and no one's going to want to delete it. They're all going to want to engage. And from our perspective, that means that we have the exchanges are all going to be very keen to work with us, because what they want is user numbers. They make their money from people transacting. So we're aiming to get to 75,000 contributors by the end of the ICO, token sale. So we're hoping that 75,000 people is a great place to start for launching the viral app, and also a place to start when we're talking to these exchanges. In fact, we've already got a couple of exchanges lined up, but they're all going to want to deal with us once we get up to the hundreds of thousands or millions of users. But we're intriguing on day one.
Right, very good, very good. Thank you for that. Thank you. And I haven't told you this, but my son, he's 13 years old. 2 years ago, he bought, at my advice, 8 Ethereum tokens.
Okay.
So he's done really nicely.
Absolutely right.
So it's that point where you just hold on to it.
What did he pay for those, if you don't mind me asking?
About $3 each.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic. The only thing we all have, I have it, you have it, everybody I know has it. 2020 hindsight. Yeah. Wouldn't we have all bought?
Ah, you've frozen. You have frozen. Do you want to take your video off?
I'm thinking, do you know what?
Sorry, Richard, go back. 2020 hindsight, because then you froze and I didn't hear anything. So say that again.
Okay, that's good. So 2020 hindsight, we all look back and say, "Why, my goodness, shouldn't we have bought 1,000 Bitcoin back then when it was $2, or even shouldn't we have bought 1,000 Bitcoin at $40?" I remember thinking at $40, my goodness, the thing's gone crazy at $40. Yeah. When it went to $400, I was smacking myself on the head, going, "Oh, I've missed the boat, totally missed it." And now here we sit at $4,400, thinking, "Oh, is it still time to buy?" And I think Bitcoin's still got massive legs. I still recommend people hold Bitcoin, because everything else trades in Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
When you look at exchanges, you very often find that Bitcoin's the most popular pair with anything else. So Bitcoin is still really strong buy in my opinion as well.
Yeah, mine too. Keep getting you some Bitcoin and hodl. Now, I wanted to ask you in particular about the gambling aspect. Oh, and before the gambling aspect, one thing and I'm going to be covering this. I have already covered this in one of these reports. Although I know we're talking on Tuesday evening, this will probably go out a few days later after I've covered it. But the transactions are private because it's a fork of Monero. How long are the transaction times?
Yeah, transaction times are really good. Minutes rather than tens of minutes, which is what we've currently seen. Of course, all these things come down to the number of miners. It's important that you have that, but I don't think we're going to suffer from a problem from that, because I think that the whole way that we're marketing this is to get people mining, and so we should have a great deal of miners. The chap sitting over there, Dean, he's working on the GUI miner for Windows, and he's just compiled it on an Apple Mac. So we know that our GUI miner will be available, really easy to use, easier than any other miner I've ever seen. You double click it, you install it, you click mine, and it starts mining your coins on your Mac, on your Linux box sitting there in the background, or on your Windows machine. So we're going to be pushing people into those as well as the mobile people.
Of course, it'll need to be kept running because it's not a proof of stake coin. Silly question, right? It's a silly question. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with proof of stake, of course, is that nearly all, at least, the idea of proof of stake is you have to have a fairly substantial amount of it for you to be risking something. something for proof of stake to work.
Yeah.
So the problem is we're trying to appeal to a mass market. And of course, these people haven't got anything. They haven't got any money. Half of the people that we're trying to appeal to, more than half probably, have no money. So they're never going to go and buy a Bitcoin. They're never going to go and buy Ethereum at the moment. They might do later, but they're not going to straight away. We're introducing an audience of people that are probably young adults or teens even, that are going to be exposed to cryptocurrency for the first time. So we'll be really good for Bitcoin, we'll be good for Ethereum, we'll be good for Dash, good for Monero. We'll be good for all of them because we'll be introducing new people. But proof of stake wouldn't really work for us. It has to be a mined currency.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I just had to turn the phone off there. I forgot to turn off the landline phone in this room. All right.
Something exciting going on.
No, tell us about the gambling aspects.
Yeah, sure. Well, the gambling aspect wasn't something we pursued. It was somebody that came to us. And the idea was, there's a chap that we know called Andy Dent, and he's a consultant to some of the really massive gaming companies around the world. And when I was sitting down with him explaining Electroneum, just because he's a businessman and I wanted to talk to people at the beginning before we even started it, I was explaining what it is, and he just did a merry dance and said, oh my goodness, there is a massive market of hundreds of millions of people that have an Android device and they have no access to a bank account. These people top up their phones in terms of their ability to pay for it. They're in India, they're in Africa, they're in Indonesia, they're in China, and they have a mobile phone, and they have a mobile phone, not contract, but a pay-as-you-go type of mobile phone, but they don't actually have facilities to get Visa, to get MasterCard. They've got no banking at all. And apparently all of the gaming houses are really keen to find a way to monetize those people. So any micro-payment system that enables them to get some money from those people to game would be really exciting for them. And interestingly, certainly the Indonesian market, Chinese market, they're massive gamblers. They're really big into gaming themselves, but they're gambling in local gambling. They're not gambling in online gambling because they have no access to banking. So the natural thing for cryptocurrency to get into there works really well. So if you've got cryptocurrency, it works perfectly as a micro-payment transmission for payment, but they can't get any cryptocurrency because they haven't got banking. So there's this sort of chicken and egg. And where we come along is that if you can mine a few coins, if you've got $1 or a couple of dollars in your Electroneum account, and you fancy placing a wager, then you can place a wager for 50 cents or for 70 cents or for $1.50, and all of a sudden that becomes very interesting to a gaming company when they are talking about hundreds of millions of people. So they were keen to say, if you get the users, then we would be very, very keen to get on board. Now, if we get users that are not suitable for that, which we might very well do in the first instance because of their age group, and we are not trying to encourage youngsters to gamble in any way, shape or form, only gamble responsibly, people out there. So if we're going to appeal to the wrong audience to start with, but we'll still show that we can reach a mass audience, then the gaming companies we could leverage the gaming companies' existing marketing, etc., to get behind us, to get us out there in the first place into the markets that they want, which would then enable them to monetize those markets. So, there's some conversations to be had. We are in very early stages when it comes to the gaming markets, but it's an exciting market nonetheless.
Sure. And I think you also kind of explained why it's not such a big deal in the white paper, because you got to make sure that that you're responsible about it and you reach the right people and stuff. Very good. So hence the emphasis on the gaming and also on the reaching the unbanked.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen, but I did a video a few days ago where I compared Electroneum with a Mise Go. Now, I recommend people get both. That's what I'm doing. Get a Mise Go and Electroneum. But I think
I've been saying the same thing to everybody that there are a few ICOs that are of relative interest, and people say to me, "Oh, why should I come to you and not go to them?" And I said, "Well, no, don't. If you fancy if two things you'd like to support them and you'd like to get behind them, then just divide the amount of money that you were going to spend on one and put half into each. You are absolutely right. You should be diversified in this market anyway. So diversifying into ICOs is also a very sensible thing to do.
Yes, but given how successful Mise Go has been so far, and because the coin launched at 53 cents in July, and it's like over $8 today, it's taken a little dip, right? Given how successful it's been, then Electroneum, there's no reason why Electroneum couldn't have similar success, especially since Electroneum, you have the app ready to go the day after the ICO. And Misego is still developing theirs, and it's due to launch in December.
We've been very lucky in that we've through Retortal and through I've got a digital agency as well that I don't spend much time there, but I've got a digital agency. So my background has led me directly into these guys, and we started putting this together almost as a we were going to do it anyway, but it was going to be on a much smaller scale. And then we thought, do you know what? If we properly get behind this and we actually raise some money, this isn't going to be a tiny little thing that's provincial. It's going to be worldwide. It's going to be massive. So we all got a bit excited, and that hence the token sale and us now needing a lot more caffeine than we used to.
Very good, very good. Okay, all right. Now, we've got a few minutes left. Is there anything you want to say or let the viewers know or anything? And by the way, we're at the 30% with the bonus sale, but by the time this goes out, it'll be the 20%. So I would suggest that if people haven't already bought it at 30%, 40, 50% or 40%, 30%, buy it now at 20% if you're going to buy it.
Yeah, I think exactly that. If it's something that intrigues people and they'd like to help us make it something massive, then we'd really appreciate it, because whilst we've definitely got enough money now to make it massive, the more money we get, the more territories we'll go into. It's as simple as that. So we're already translating into a couple of dozen languages, but there are hundreds of languages out there. We're going to pick our markets. Some countries like India have got dozens of languages within them. So is Indonesia. So the reality is we're going to target out and advertise like stink when the thing goes live, and we're just going to get this thing going as viral as we can possibly get it. So every penny that's coming in is going to be put to good use. So, but ultimately, have a look around, see what else there is in the market, and as you said right at the beginning, only invest what you can afford to lose, just in case it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Richard, anything else you want to say to anybody?
No, I think so. I mean, I really appreciate you taking the time to interview me, and I've wandered up and down my office, so you're getting to see our mess quite considerably. But,
mess is a good sign. It means you're working hard.
Yeah, we are working hard, that's for sure. Oh my goodness.
That's right. Not tidying up, you're working, developing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's.
I mean, really, what is he thinking? I mean, yeah. We should have some sort of Electroneum policy, shouldn't we? The policy is mostly caffeine and chocolate, so he's kind of following policy.
After the ICO, you can clean up.
Yeah,
After the token sale. All right, Richard. Listen, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'd love to speak to you again, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, see how we're doing.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, love to do so. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. Really appreciate it. Wonderful.
Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.